Hi, everybody. I'm Wave Storm Tracking Team Meteorologist Ryan Hoke here on this alert day, the first of many to come, not only because of the snow, but because of the cold. So a couple of prongs to this. If you've got any questions or comments and you're on our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch live streams here, you can just type those comments or questions in, and I'll be able to display them here live on the air within our social media platforms. If you're watching us on Wave Weather Now on the Wave app or the Wave Now app, you won't be able to see those comments, but I'll read them to you as they come in. So far, we haven't had anybody on here just yet, but we've got 421 folks who are ready to go and get some information about the snow that's going to be moving in this evening and beyond. All right, first off, outside right now, it is cold. It is 13 degrees here in Louisville. It feels like 4 degrees at this point, and that is, of course, no good. We've got Ashley, who's on the line here with us, and she says, too many alert days. Yes, I get it. There's a lot going on right now. This is one of our most active times of year for winter weather here, and it will likely go down as one of the most active of the entire winter here, as the long-range outlook heading into late next week shows that something a little bit warmer may be on our way. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. We've got Nolan in here. Nolan Brewer says we don't have any snow yet in Jeffersonville. Jamie's asking, where is our snow? We're going to show you where the snow is here right now. Let's get to temperatures first across the area. You'll notice that right now we have single digits still. Bedford, North Vernon, Salem, Paoli, all in the single digits. We're sitting in the teens across much of Kentucky. This morning, we were almost all in southern Indiana in the single digits. Here in Louisville, we were 2 above that at 11 degrees above zero. We will likely see temperatures a little colder than this tomorrow morning, especially when we add in the snow. So here's the information, kind of the bottom line here. We are looking for a 1 to 4 inch snowfall in central and southern Kentucky, which according to Chris Bowles here, is already happening in E-Town. They've already got some light snow. You'll notice no snow yet in Marion County from Tammy Washburn. No snow just yet there from Kenzie Peters in Bardstown at the moment. So many good questions here, or comments, I should say, reports coming in. We've got another one here from April. April says we've only had a little bit of a dusting in Scottsburg. And finally, Laura says it is snowing currently in Lebanon, Kentucky. More of those snowfall reports live coming your way here in just a minute. Slick travel is likely with this system, especially in central and southern Kentucky tonight through Monday. I know we've got Tuesday on here as well. There is a possibility of a few snowflakes early Tuesday morning. Again, every flake's going to stick because it's so cold, but it's really the cold that'll probably be the biggest issue on Tuesday, with some wind chills down to 10 degrees below zero in spots. All right, right now, this is what's going on. You'll notice the radar filling up across central and southern Kentucky already. Louisville is snow-free for the moment. As we zoom in, you'll notice kind of a heavier snow band that's getting set up from Hardinsburg to E-Town down toward Bardstown and Springfield at this hour. And then some lighter snows just to the south of that. Here in Louisville, we are snow-free at the moment. As you go down even farther to the south, some heavier snow from Greensburg to Columbia. We're not expecting a wholesale, coming down snow in buckets here or anything like that, but these snow showers will be heavy enough to cause problems, especially given the temperature here. So as we zoom things out just a little more, you'll notice that we've got something called MPing reports. MPing is basically a system for reporting different types of damage and precipitation types that the National Weather Service and the University of Oklahoma kind of came up with jointly. And you can submit these reports on the MPing app or on a partner app like RadarScope, where I submit my MPing reports. So these are citizen weather observer reports here from meteorologists, from hobbyists, from folks like you at home. And you'll notice we've already got one report of some snow a little closer to the NWS office there. Closer to the Highview area, just north of the Snyder in Jefferson County. But most of the snowfall reports have been just west of our counties, and a few of them are happening near Hardin and on the southern edge of LaRue County. So this is what is happening now. Is it snowing? Is it raining? Is it what? These reports are saying, yes, it is snowing in our locations where we have these blue icons, meaning that we are seeing snow hitting the ground. There's a lot of dry air to overcome, but that is being overcome as we speak, and the snow is in progress in some spots to the south of Louisville. This is all being caused by a disturbance that's moving through, and this disturbance that's just south of us is really impacting areas from Arkansas to Middle Tennessee in a big way here. We're talking winter storm warnings all across areas of Middle Tennessee, East Tennessee, West Tennessee at this point. The I-40 corridor just getting absolutely lit up at this time with snow. And that is expected to continue as we head throughout tonight and into early tomorrow. There we go. I was able to get the winter storm warnings up there. Almost the entire state of Arkansas, the entire state of Tennessee, and much of southeastern Kentucky, just outside of our counties, in that winter storm warning for those locales. So timing on this snow, the highest chance of snow is going to be really over the next couple of hours here. That's a 60% chance of snow. That's when Louisville will start to get in on the light snow that we'll see around here. Again, less than an inch here in the city. We're going to pop up that map here shortly. And then snow showers will be mostly delegated to southern Kentucky overnight tonight. And we'll see some snow showers trying to peak up a little closer to Louisville at times. Tomorrow morning, a little closer to sunrise. But again, most of this is south of Louisville. Futurecast shows us very clearly the snow moving through it. It's widest expanse as we head toward 9 o'clock this evening, 10 o'clock too. By midnight, it starts to go down to southern Kentucky, and it just sits there for the overnight hours. Even through about 6 a.m., it's still snowing down there. That's why it's going to be the heaviest snowfall totals to our south. It's all about how much time each individual location spends underneath the snow. And then as we go through Monday, lighter and more kind of ephemeral sort of snow pockets try to move through here, meaning they don't last all too long. And then we're pretty much done by Tuesday at midnight. I'm going to leave the snow up map up here and get some of your comments and reports here. You'll notice less than an inch of snow, Louisville, southern Indiana, and areas along the I-64 corridor. You get into that 1 to 2 inch zone from Lexington to Bardstown to Hardinsburg, Lebanon, Litchfield, Campbellsville, 2 to 4 inches. And we're looking at winter storm criteria, which is 4 inches plus potentially should go toward Columbia and south and east of there. Let's talk about some of your comments. Let's see. Donnie says, it is super rare that Louisville gets snow. I wish it would snow here. I'd love a snow day. It does snow here. It's just this year it hasn't snowed a whole lot. We've had 0.8 inches so far. Just areas to our south are going to get hit with this one more so. Let's see what other questions or comments, concerns, whatnot. Terrence says, hey, Ryan, I'm definitely ready for spring to get here. Yes, I think a lot of us, especially after we woke up to whatever the heck that was outside this morning, are ready for spring. It was so cold. Even my garage was ridiculously cold this morning. Let's see here. Carla says, thank you for always keeping us informed. You are so welcome, Carla. Welcome, Carla. I appreciate you. Let's see. Tara, is there still a chance that the snow could move north? I discussed this on our Facebook page, Wave Weather, a little bit earlier today. I do not believe this one is going to trend north any more than it has already. The snow is already here, and I think it's going to be areas to our south that really cash in on these snow totals. This is going to be a super fluffy snow because of how cold it's going to be. Hayden's asking, is it going to snow tomorrow? And yes, at times, but especially in southern Kentucky, and the snow we get here in Louisville and southern Indiana would just be a few snowflakes out of this. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, Chris Bowles is asking total QPF and ratios by zone. I don't have a map for that at this moment. I just haven't had enough time to put something together like that. But we'll talk about the snowfall ratios here in just a second. I've got a graphic that at least kind of overviews what that is and what is going on. It's not as specific as you're looking for, but you get the idea here. Let's see what else we have here. Michelle says, I want some snow. Send it my way. Oh my gosh. Yes. We've got some for some of us, not all of us, all right? Shonda says 16 degrees, snowing on my weather station in Jeffersonville. So that snow is already making it to parts of southern Indiana, despite the radar presentation not being all too impressive up that way. Edna says it's snowing in the Roanoke out of Elizabethtown in Hardin County. All right, that's good. We've got several reports now from Hardin County of snow that's coming in. Let's see. Lisa on YouTube says, bless you for caring enough to do that for fur babies. Yes, make sure that your pets are inside, period. If they're cold or if you're cold, they're cold, all right? It's too cold. It's too dangerously cold, and the snow's not going to be fun either. Let's see here. Oh, my gosh. Miranda says, I want to experience snow like I did in 93. No, this is not going to be that. In fact, just kind of comparing winters, I was thinking about this a little earlier today. This pattern that we're in this week reminds me a lot of the winter 2013, 2014 weather pattern where we had a lot of cold. It was kind of the polar vortex winter, if you will. But the snows were kind of just the lighter varieties because the storm track had gotten pushed so far south. So that's kind of what I think we're kind of heading into. All right, last comment for a little bit here, and then we'll get back to these, all right? Amanda says, any thoughts on how this could impact the drive tomorrow morning? Yes, we do have some things to show you about the drive tomorrow morning. Here's our road impacts. We're looking for snow-covered roads in the morning on Monday, especially in southern and central Kentucky. Southern Indiana, you may have a few flakes on the road, a few slick spots, and that applies to Louisville as well, slick spots. But the slickest of the roads would likely be down in parts of southern Kentucky and central Kentucky there as we go through time. Looks like I've lost my background here. We're going to get that back here. Give us just a second here. Get that working for us. Bada bing, bada boom. And go live. There we go. We got that background back there so we can see. Okay, so yes, the snow is going to be most prevalent for the roads tomorrow morning. As we head through the afternoon, I think the salt will help. So the salt's not going to do much overnight just because the temperature is going to be too low. We're talking lows in the single digits in the teens. Once you get below 15 degrees, that salt effectiveness is just not there, and you really need it to be above that. So watch for slick, snow-covered roads, central, southern Kentucky, mainly south of Louisville, overnight tonight and into early Monday morning. By the afternoon tomorrow, I think the salt will help some. There is some refreeze potential Monday night and a few slick spots Tuesday morning. We do see some sunlight on Tuesday, and that'll help to sublimate the snow a little bit. Different than evaporation because we're going from a solid to a gas thanks to the sun. Sublimation is your word of the day here, all right? So that's my thoughts on the snow for tomorrow and the commute and how it will impact that. Now, this is getting back to a question we had earlier. What about the ratios of the snow? What does that even mean? Well, essentially, as you get colder, you're able to get a lighter, fluffier snow and a higher snowfall total out of the same amount of water coming out of the atmosphere. So a tenth of an inch of liquid rain, if you will, typically would produce about an inch of snow, a 10-to-1 snowfall ratio. That snow is 10 times the accumulation of the actual liquid, right? In this situation, we're looking at a 15-to-1 or even greater, a 20-to-1 snowfall ratio. I think that 20-to-1 is going to be common. So you're essentially doubling the amount of snow that you would typically get for the same amount of water. It's like double the bang for your buck on the snow when it's cold like this in the teens, all right? So that's why snowfall totals, especially in southern Kentucky, are going to be 4 inches plus, like toward, say, Adair County and south and east of there into Tennessee and the mountains of eastern Kentucky. You've just got so much cold air to work with here that you don't need a lot of moisture to really pile up on the snow here. So that's what we were talking about earlier with the ratios. We've got not just this alert day, by the way, but a few more. We've got, of course, the one that goes for tonight and into Monday. Tuesday's kind of included in that mix there, but I think most of that's going to be the wind chill factor and some of the slick roads early Tuesday morning left over from some of the snow that's going to be on the roadways if they're not treated and if they don't try to melt too much. Monday afternoon, with temperatures as cold as they are, not much melting will happen, if any. And then the one that's new, I've just declared this as of our 6 o'clock newscast tonight, is Friday. There is a Friday light snow accumulation potential here. And this one, while it's not as crystal clear as the one that's obviously moving in now to us, it is something that could likely cause some impacts to the Friday morning commute, starting as early as Thursday evening. So we will watch that one very carefully as we go through time here. We've got a lot of folks asking about their specific towns or cities. You know, what about North Vernon, Indiana? What about my town here? Well, I've got the map. I'm going to pop that up again here. And we'll just kind of keep bouncing back to this map as we go forward here, explaining a few other things that are going to happen, especially the cold here. North Vernon, less than an inch of snow. You may end up not seeing much of a flake at all up there. You're just too far north of where this system is going to be. We're on the northern fringe of this thing, and that's why the snow map is the way that it is, unfortunately, because of that placement. We've got an anonymous comment on YouTube here. Radar showing snow over St. Matthews, but there isn't anything falling. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up because the radar right now is detecting snow falling above our heads, but there's so much dry air between the base of the cloud and where we're at here at the surface that snow is actually not reaching the ground. It's being sublimated, all right? Basically evaporation, but of a solid, if you will, here. So if I turn the radar sensitivity down a bit, in fact, we'll turn it down as much as we can here, or kind of the filtering, if you will. You'll notice that we've got some rain or snowfall echoes over Louisville, but these are likely not producing snow because they're just too light. We really need those heavier snowfall echoes on the radar. What you see right here on the radar is a pretty good estimation of where it's snowing and where it's not. So Louisville is out of that the weather apps, including our own Wave weather app, show kind of an assimilation of different radars put together. And sometimes in these situations, when you have dry air, it'll show rain or snow over you, but you don't have anything yet. The atmosphere will moisten up, though, as we head throughout the evening, and eventually it will start snowing for a little bit here in Louisville. Again, we're not expecting much at all here in the city. In fact, just south and west of you in Shively there, you'll notice it is snowing. Thank you to Lisa Marie for giving us that information there. So that's a bit about the snow that's happening now. We've talked about the snowfall ratios and how this is going to be sort of a fluffy snow because of how cold it is. So you get the kind of doubling your snowfall for the same amount of water coming from the cloud here. And that's kind of a good deal if you're looking for a good snow. Not so much if you're not, obviously. And of course, our alert days include tonight, Monday, Tuesday, and then Friday. Cold weather is going to be the problem, I think, especially early Tuesday. And how cold will it be? We're talking 10 for an actual air temperature here in Louisville, and then a wind chill, if you will, kind of factoring in the wind that evaporates the water on your skin, makes you feel colder. That wind chill could go as low as 10 degrees below zero in spots. And I think the areas of central and southern Kentucky will be some of the coldest in our area, despite this map not showing that so much. You're going to have pockets, I think, of actual air temperatures getting down to the mid-single digits, like 5 degrees, with those wind chills getting close to that 10 degree below zero mark. That's pretty dangerous stuff. We don't want to mess with that. And then this is Wednesday morning. Notice that we still could have some wind chills close to 10 degrees below zero in some spots like Corden, Seymour, down toward Lebanon, Campbellsville. Look how cold those actual air temperatures are because of the snow on the ground and some clouds breaking up overhead, kind of the recipe for our coldest temperatures here in the mornings. Munfordville, 1 degree above zero. Campbellsville, 1 degree above zero. Lebanon, 3 above. Those are actual air temperatures, not wind chills. Again, that's Wednesday morning. So the next several mornings going to be ridiculously cold. So make sure you're letting your faucets drip, that pencil thin stream. Keep your pets inside. If you've got a car battery that's not been doing so hot lately, maybe try to start that up, drive it around the neighborhood a little bit, get that thing charged up, and then get a replacement as soon as you can here, if you can do so safely. So this is Friday. So this is the newest alert day that we have declared here. Another Arctic front brings this light snow. Accumulation is likely. Travel impacts are possible. We pulled the trigger on this alert day today to give you 5 days heads up, all right? This is a kind of system that I think could cause some problems around here, and our confidence is now high enough to bring that alert day designation into the fold here. And of course, more bitterly cold air is going to be on the backside of this thing, if you can believe it. But it's another one of these areas of low pressure moving through the Tennessee Valley that puts us in the sweet spot for some snow. But again, because it will be so cold, we're not looking for like a super heavy snow out of this just yet. That's not what's on the maps. We're looking for an accumulating snow, but it would likely be an advisory level snow, not a winter storm warning snow. Kind of similar to what we have now, but possibly more of an equal opportunity situation where more areas would get in on that than the current snow forecast for tonight and Monday, which is mainly south of Louisville for those highest accumulations. And this would be Friday morning's commute that would be most negatively impacted by this. But Thursday evening could also have some problems. I'm not confident enough in Thursday's issues being early enough to affect the evening commute for that alert day to be pointed out just now. So we will have Friday as the alert day until that confidence changes. This is the European model I'm showing for those model nerds who are keeping up with this. And you'll notice the snowfall snow cover potential here does cover all of Commonwealth of Kentucky and the state of Indiana. And some of that heaviest snow would likely be to our north and east. This is the Friday system we're talking about. If you've been counting down to spring, well, we've got slightly more positive news for you. This is at least better. It's bad when 39 is better, right? But that's what we've got on the map here as we head through our Monday of not this week, so that's not tomorrow, but next week, as potentially this pattern will try to break. We have to be very careful with this kind of setup, though, because this can get pushed back a day or two or three, because sometimes the weather models want to bring these aggressive warm-ups in a little too quickly. Nonetheless, the Weather Prediction Center, WPC, they're part of the National Weather Service here, they are indicating that they are looking for above normal temperatures and a decent chance of that across the eastern part of the nation as we head through that very time frame of that next week. So hang on, folks. If you're looking for something a little warmer than, I don't know, single digits for lows, you might have some better success in getting rid of that by the end of the month. I'll end here with our 10-day earliest alert, but we are not going to stop the broadcast because we're going to talk more about your comments, questions, the live radar, and put up that snow map again here. Just kind of gives you a semblance of where these alert days are, this Monday, Tuesday, Friday alert day scenario here by putting up the 10-day earliest alert. After Friday, I think our snow chance is low for quite some time, so we will get a break, and it'll be a rain situation potentially by the end of this 10-day earliest alert, not as much of a snow situation. Let's get to your comments, all right? We'll stay on here for probably about the next 15 minutes at most, but I want to make sure that we have enough time to get to a lot of your comments because we have such a backlog of them here. We've got over 500 folks watching amongst all the platforms that we serve here. And of course, Wave Weather Now is where you can watch our 24-hour weather live stream. It's on the Wave Now app for your smart TV, like Apple TV, Roku, etc. It's on the Wave Weather app. You just tap Watch Live. And of course, it's on the Wave app as well for your phone. And it's great because it gives you a 24-hour weather update with all the radar graphics and our forecast that's updated very frequently. Our social media updates go there as well. And then when we have situations like this, we go live on there and you can see all the updates that are from us, our meteorologist here too. Let's get to some of your comments here. Lisa says, light snow in Clarkson for the last 20 minutes or so, not sneeing and accumulating on the ground just yet, just blowing around. It's very cold. That makes sense. Snowing in Brandenburg from Amanda. Thank you for sending that in. Let's see here. Snowing in Campbellsville, according to Diana. Hello to our Southern Kentucky watchers and viewers here. This is really your snow event that we're talking about for tonight. Tiffany says, I am a transplant from Chicago. I know winter. Yes, you do. You know it better than we do. So when we get, a 2 to 4 inch snow in Southern Kentucky, this is significant, right? That's why we've hoisted this alert day flag here. Let's see. Any afternoon impacts on Friday is asking, Morgan Norris is asking here. Any afternoon impacts for our Friday system? Yes, there may very well be some just because the snow would be on the ground from the previous morning or that Friday morning. So we'll watch and see the timing. It's still, again, 5 days out, a bit nebulous on timing. However, the impact is getting a bit more clear, hence the alert day that we've declared for Friday. So much going on here. Good grief. Let's see. David says, I'll believe the Friday snow in Louisville when I see it. It'll go north or south. I'd bet money on it. Possibly. We'll see. But again, the impact, at least right now, looks to be high enough for that alert day designation. A lot can change. You're absolutely right. But we want to make sure we're giving folks the earliest alert on this. That's our job. You want to know if there's a chance, if there's going to be a problem, right? And thank goodness if there's not, right? We can peel off that alert day. Woohoo! That's great news, right? But we typically don't affix the alert day to situations where we think, it's just going to get peeled off. We do that to situations where our confidence starts to get in the realm of, I think we may have a problem here at some point. All right. So that's kind of opening the door on how we declare alert days in our process there. Lisa says it's snowing in Bardstown, Kentucky right now. Let's see. Brooke says, what will the worst time be the worst time as far as road conditions to be out? And honestly, if you're in southern and central Kentucky, we are closing in on that as we speak. So pretty much from, I'd say, 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. So that kind of almost 12-hour period there. If not 13 hours, if I can do my addition right in my head here, that'll be the worst time. Again, central and southern Kentucky. Louisville and southern Indiana, we will have very few impacts here. This is mainly a Kentucky deal, not so much an along the river or north of the river type situation, just because of how this is oriented. All right, more questions, comments, concerns. Let's see. Brandon says, I see some warmer weather for next Friday. Yes, you do. We'll see what happens. Again, that could get delayed. We don't want to put that in permanent ink. This is kind of penciled in, this warm up for late next week. We get into these cold snaps, these patterns where you get these big troughs over the East Coast. The models are like, okay, let's get this thing out of here. Let's build in a ridge. Let's make it warmer. And then you start getting closer to the actual event, and then things change. It gets delayed. That happens. We've seen it before. We saw it in the winter of 13-14. This pattern kind of reminds me of the winter of 13-14 a little bit. It's not quite the same, but just you had that big, super cold air mass that sat on us, and we got like micro snowed to death, if you will, like those 1 to 2 inch snows. This is kind of what we're going through right now this week. Let's see. Courtney says, why isn't snow getting much snow this year? I want it. Bring on the snow. Luck of the draw. The last systems just haven't really put down a lot. We had a little snow last night, kind of whitened up the streets. Snow plows were out putting salt down, but we haven't had just big snow yet. We've only had 0.8 inches of snow in Louisville officially at the airport. So it's really just kind of the luck of the draw. The atmosphere hasn't been set up to aim the snow machine right at Louisville just yet. And this system's just not going to do it because, I mean, you can already see it on the radar. Central and Southern Kentucky are favored here. That heavier snow band is just south of Louisville. And if we put on the snowfall or the snow type or precipitation type reports, I should say, where it is snowing, if you will, you'll see it's all across areas from Lebanon Junction south. Got one rain and snow report. I think that may be wrong down there in parts of Hart County. That may have been a mistake that somebody made, but look where it's snowing right now. It's, again, south of Louisville. We're seeing a few flakes here in the city at the moment, but for the most part, this is going to be a south of Louisville type deal. It's snowing in Magnolia from Sherry. Thank you for sending that in. What else do we have? Richmond, Kentucky amounts. That is just outside of our viewing area, but I am more than happy to show our snow map again. I'm sure there's a lot of folks who are just joining us, kind of tuning in and out over the last few minutes here. If you're in the Richmond area, I've got you in a solid 2 to 4 inch zone. I think that's based on the radar, a very good guess at this point for your section of the world. Ashley says, nothing for Frankfurt yet. I miss when we get those deep, wet snows. Yeah, this is not a deep or wet snow scenario. It's too cold for the wet snow and too light for the deep snow. Just not here just yet. Denise says, it never snows here much anymore. Used to when I was a kid. There's a little bit of a confirmation bias on some of these. It doesn't snow like it used to anymore when I was a kid. Because when you were a kid, Denise, and I'm going to guess it was probably in the 50s, 60s, or 70s, we were in a kind of a what you call like a decadal pattern where it did snow a lot, especially in the 70s. We all who were alive at that point remember the winter of 77, 78, right? I mean, it snowed like buckets, like crazy. And a lot of folks who are around today, that was their childhood. So that kind of says to you, oh, this is normal, right? It should snow like that. That was the exception. Normal is a little bit closer to like 13 inches per year in Louisville, per season, if you will. Not these 18, 24-inch snows. No, a foot of snow for the entire season spread across multiple snow events is normal around here, just so you know. As you go north, though, it gets a little bit more normal to see more of that snow. Nick says, I'm ready for 70s. Well, aren't we all? Doesn't that sound good? I really want some warmer air. That feels good. I was just down in Florida, believe it or not, on vacation last week, and going from swimming to coming back here and partying in the snow. That is a kind of a harsh turnaround, if you will. Thomas says, nothing in PRP just yet. Patricia, how much snow for Lebanon? You see it here on the map. Lebanon is on the map, 2 to 4 inches. Bada bing, bada boom. Same story for E-Town. You're right on that 2 to 4 and 1 to 2 line, so a couple inches possible in E-Town. Will Louisville experience another blizzard like 1994, asks Courtney. Who knows at this point, right? I was alive for that one. I remember it. Snow came up to my waist. I was a little tyke during that blizzard, that snowstorm of 94. That was also when we had the coldest air temperature ever experienced in Kentucky's history. It was like 30-something below zero near Shelbyville. Big deal. That kind of system is not in the cards, all right? So we don't really know if that's going to happen at any point in the next, couple months. Winter is still young. It is just mid-January after all. But we'll see what the cards are dealt to us here. Snowing pretty good in Summersville. Thank you, Kate, for sending that in. Slick roads tomorrow is asking Christy. Again, folks are tuning in and out here, so we're going to be discussing the same thing at intervals just to make sure everybody's got the message here since we started this about, 29 minutes ago. And yes, there will be slick roads, especially south of Louisville. A few slick spots in Louisville and southern Indiana, but not anywhere near what they'll have in these blue zones you see here on the map where they're going to have issues with snow. And you share driving conditions in Louisville from 7:30 to 8 a.m. A few slick spots are possible. We may have a couple of flurries. I don't think it's going to be a hugely big deal. I know tomorrow is a holiday. It's a federal holiday. A lot of folks are off. A lot of the kids are off. But not everybody is, right? A lot of us have to go to work even on federal holidays. I know that very well. But it is going to be just a slick spot potential in Louisville and more of a widespread problem south of the city. If you're in blue on this map, you're going to have a problem most likely during your morning commute tomorrow, just because temperatures will be too cold for the salt to be super effective. So those side streets and even some of like the county roads may have some big issues down there in central and southern Kentucky early tomorrow. Interstates will be treated. They're going to try to keep those clear the best they can, especially as you get south. Like I-65 south into Bowling Green tomorrow would be an interesting thing to do. The Cumberland Parkway going east of Bowling Green toward London would also be an interesting place to be tomorrow, and not in a good way just because of the heavier snowfall down there, coupled with the super low temperatures. So again, Louisville, slick spots for the morning, slick roads more likely just south of the city. Nick's talking about the winter of 77, 78 and that big old snow that got him out of 2 weeks of school. My stepmom tells me stories about that all the time. She was down in Russell Springs when that happened. They were out of school for like ever. Goodness. Let's see. What else do we got here? 1994 was the biggest snow. Haven't had that much since then. Yeah, we really haven't had like a mega snow since then. The ones that come to mind are like '04, so like December 22nd, 21st, 22nd of '04. I remember that one. That was a big old sleet situation in Louisville, but I mean, literally just north of the city, you were packing in like 2 feet of snow in some situations. And then like March of '08, we had like nearly a foot then. In 2015, we had some big snows. I remember a gentleman calling in from Radcliffe with like a 20+ inch snow report back in 2015. So we've had some big ones. It's just we haven't had like that mega knockout drag out like that kind of 70 late 70s blizzard type conditions, and of course the 94 storm, just like that. Joshua's watching us on YouTube, by the way. Yes, Wave is on YouTube, and we broadcast these live events there as well. You can comment on there and we'll see those comments. He says Oldham County needs some snow. Snowing in Louisville by Jefferson Mall. Thank you, Jamie Sierra, for giving us that information here. Light flurries and White Mills. Parmesan cheese looking on the car. All right, Lon Anderson, you have won the night. You have won the internet for the day. You have called it Parmesan cheese snow. As a guy who is hungry and getting ready to eat something with Parmesan cheese on it, that is awesome. So I guess it looks like the, kind of like the Kroger or Kraft, like Parmesan cheese in the room temperature can. I don't know how that works. Preservatives, right? That looks kind of like that, I guess, is what you're talking about there. So that's kind of cool. Parmesan cheese snow. I like that. That's awesome. Let's see here. Beverly says it's snowing in E-Town. Let's see if we've got any more questions or comments here. Is the snow sticking to the roads? Melinda is asking. And yes, absolutely. Every flake of snow will stick to the roads tonight. In fact, let me bring up pavement temperatures here. I'll have to do a little typing to get that up here for us. But yes, the pavement temperature is definitely low enough for snow to stick to it. I mean, we were super cold last night. We were super cold today. It's just a no-brainer that's going to stick to the roads. If they're treated with some salt, it may take a little bit more time. But you'll notice those road temperatures here are all below freezing by a good margin here. The warmest road temperature we have is right at freezing in Western Kentucky Parkway in Litchfield with an air temperature of 10, just 10. It's still so weird just to see 10 as an air temperature. That's not a wind chill. Bowling Green, not Bowling Green, the Bluegrass Parkway, I should say, in Bardstown. I just drove through Bowling Green, so when I see BG, I'm like, Bowling Green. No, Bluegrass Parkway at Bardstown, 31 for your pavement temperature. Air temperature is right at 14 degrees, a little closer to Louisville. And Jeffersonville, you'll notice it's 24-degree pavement temperature. The bridge temperature, bridges and overpasses cool faster than the roads that are connected to the rock and soil, of course. The bridge temperature is 19 there. Air temperature is 10. This sensor, by the way, is the only one in our area with a bridge temp, so that is really helpful to have that Jeffersonville sensor there. The rest of these Indiana sensors do not have a bridge sensor, unfortunately, but you can see there that the pavement temperature in Scottsburg is 18. You can see all the white on the roads. What is that? That is salt. The white you're seeing on the roads on these cameras is salt, not snow just yet. And of course, it's too dark down near Litchfield to see if there's any snow on the road just yet. Let's get this camera up from I-65 south in E-Town. 29-degree pavement temperature, 11-degree air temperature. Hard to kind of see there if it's really snowing all that much there at the moment. What I'm going to do, though, is switch to one of our SkyTrack cameras here. Let's see here. Looks like we've got some lower visibility in downtown Louisville. You can kind of see that murkiness there, so it may be snowing a bit here in the city, which we've gotten several reports of that so far. That is not surprising in the slightest that we're seeing that at this point here. So absolutely, it is going to be a situation where, it does snow at times here in Louisville, but the highest snowfall would be south of the city here. All right, let's get back to our comments here if we can. There we go. Let's see what the latest is. E-Town has snow on the ground right now. Da, 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 da. That is not surprising. In fact, we'll try to pull up our E-Town SkyTrack camera here up if we can. It's going to take me a minute to do a few gymnastics to get that going, but I think I can get it done. Let's see if that happens. Let's see. I've got too many keyboards and too many tools in here sometimes, and it's hard to get the right one here. So let me log in here, and I'll be able to switch our SkyTrack cameras around here, and that will make it a little bit easier for us to see what's happening in your neck of the woods. I should have set that up before this broadcast, but I had too many things going on to have the presence of mind to do that here. Let's see if this will let me log in. Perfect. All right, yeah, we'll be able to do this, no problem. Let's see, there's the computer that I need. And bada bang, bada boom. Let's get those SkyTrack cameras up. Let's see here. SkyTrack. If you guys have any more comments, questions, concerns, hopefully not complaints, put those in the comments section of the platform that you are watching us on. Again, if you are watching us on our Wave Weather Now or Wave Now live stream, you won't be able to see those, but I'm reading them out loud to make things a little bit easier for us here. All right, here comes the E-Town SkyTrack camera here. I'm going to pull that up. It's as slow as molasses today. Hey, there we go. All right, so E-Town cam is selected. And we're going to put it to air. And here we go. E-Town camera is coming up for you here in just a second. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Bueno. All right. Here comes the E-Town SkyTrack camera. And just like that, boom, you can see they do have snow on the roads down there. And that whole parking lot of that strip mall across the street from Baptist Health Hardin is also completely covered in snow. So yeah, snow is sticking to the roads. Our data told us that. Our SkyTrack cameras are telling us that. You're telling us that here on our live stream. So it's awesome that we can put all these things together and show you exactly what's happening here. Let's see. Be glad when it's over. I can't stand cold weather, says Shane. Yes, I totally agree with you. Let's see here. Snowing in Findlay, according to Judy Fenwick. Thank you so much for that. How much for Simpsonville, Kentucky? You guys, I believe, are in that less than 1 inch zone up there in Simpsonville. Can any of this shift north to Louisville? We discussed that a little bit earlier, and at this point, it does not look like that's going to be the case based on the live trends with the radar and such here. Is it snowing in Litchfield? It probably is. Look out your window. It's on the radar, and we've got reports down there, so certainly. In fact, we have snow-covered roads in Litchfield, according to Tammy Ledford. Thank you so much, Tammy, for that. We've got... Oh, no, an unfortunate autocorrect problem. Carla Jo Ferguson, I totally sympathize with you. That, yikes. Autocorrect is no fun, right? She says she has snow in Bardstown on the ground, but unfortunately, a word was misspelled, and it was an unfortunate circumstance on that. Poor thing. Sorry to hear that or see that. Alyssa, it's snowing in Fairdale. Yep, that is no surprise. Frankfurt, less than 1 inch of snow for you. Murdy Wright is asking that question here. We're going to go until 7:50 here, so another minute of this. Looks like our folks have gotten their fill of this broadcast here this evening. By the way, you can always watch these recorded back on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So if you missed anything, just wait for a few minutes, come back to that platform. You'll see our live video there presented as a recording. Makes that really easy if you missed anything. There's our snow accumulation forecast map. You see how 2 to 4 inches is kind of what we'll see down in parts of southern Kentucky, 4 inch plus down toward Columbia, and then 1 to 2 inches just south of Louisville, the I-64 corridor, and southern Indiana, less than 1 inch of snow. Womp, womp. According to Eddie, it's snowing in Bullitt County, or Eddie in Bloomfield there. Comment above you is Christie in Bullitt County, where it's snowing as well. How much for Sonora? You're seeing it here on the map. Closer to that 2 to 4 inch mark for you down there. Laura Lee Bell, will there be another round of snow that might cancel schools Tuesday and Wednesday? I do not think so. If there are any cancellations, it would be due to the cold in case like you got a school with like a boiler that's not working or any sort of HVAC issue. But it wouldn't be snow Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, Friday, that's a different story. And we've got the alert day on Friday. You can see that in the Wave Weather app. I've pegged that there. Do you think the roads will be bad for Fern Creek? Asking Zach Hamilton there on X or Twitter. I don't think they'll be that bad. I think we'll have some slick spots. I think the road crews are going to be able to mop this up pretty easy. The problem is once you get south of here and that heavier snow, 1 to 2 inch or more, because the road temperatures are so low, the air temperatures are so low, salt is going to be ineffective below 15 degrees-ish. I know there's some chemicals that can switch around and get some things done, but it's just going to be harder to do that. So you may have more of a widespread slick and snow-covered road situation across central and southern Kentucky compared to the Jefferson County, Louisville area. What is the weather Tuesday morning? Asking Courtney, and right now it looks dry but cold, very cold. We're talking wind chills down to 10 below and lows likely in the single digits. I'll leave you here with our 10-day earliest alert so you can get the latest on what we're thinking for the next 10 days, and that includes 3 alert days here. You'll notice those lows in the single digits likely Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. Yes, I see 10 there for Tuesday morning, but that's in Louisville. Single digits outside the city. More single digits for lows Saturday and Sunday morning of this upcoming weekend, not this weekend we're in now, but that next weekend there. After that Friday round of snow with an Arctic front that's going to be moving through. Again, for this Friday snow, if you're missing this here, this is kind of the longer range alert day that we've declared today because of the southern stream system moving in along this Arctic front, spreading widespread light snows, giving us some travel impacts, and then definitely some bitterly cold air on the back side of this thing. This may be more of a equal opportunity snow instead of where like only 40% of our viewing area gets a decent accumulating snow. This may be a little closer to that 100% mark on that. In fact, you'll see that by the European models kind of snow cover output here, giving almost all of us some sort of measurable snow there on Friday. Again, that is Friday that we're talking about, but we have to get through the next 2 alert days first, which are Monday because of the snow and cold and Tuesday because of the cold. You'll see there those wind chills of 10 degrees below zero and also some slick spots, by the way, Tuesday morning as well. I don't think we would have many school closings on Tuesday, but there may be a few, especially in those areas that can't clear the snow very well and that are most afflicted by problems with like HVAC, boiler systems, et cetera, when it comes to keeping the kids warm in school, because that is the most important thing. Snowing in E-Town, or J-Town, I should say, from Donna right now. And Jean is saying anything for Taylorsville. Yes, you guys are in that zone there where you could get 1 to 2 inches just southeast of Louisville. All right, folks, I'm going to leave it at that because my voice is starting to get hoarse after, 45 minutes of this nearly here. We really appreciate your reports. There are multiple ways to get in touch with us here. You can send us your photos on our weather app, the Wave Weather app. Just tap send us your photos. You just scroll down on that main screen, tap it, upload your photo or video. We like video too. Just do so safely. If you're going to gather that video here in the snow, please don't be driving when you're taking photos or videos. Pull over, stop, be safe. Standard disclaimer applies here. And we may show some of that on TV tonight at 11, which is after the football game, so probably closer to 11:30 this evening. We're also on Wave Weather Now 24/7. Radar updates, social media updates are all up there as well as our current forecast. So much information. We hand craft all of it. We type in all of it. All of what you see on Wave Weather Now is done by hand, all right? This is not some crazy AI-generated app on your phone that comes from some far-flung place. This is local meteorologists, all 4 of us, soon to be 5 again, that type this stuff in to make sure that you have a human-generated forecast that is more precise and more accurate than some of this computer-generated garbage, especially in these situations that you get in on, all right? Appreciate everybody watching this evening. Joanne, Christy, Jean saying thank you. I appreciate you guys as well. Kay's here. She says, good evening from Henry County. Joanne, thanking you for viewing as well. We really appreciate everybody who's been watching this evening. And again, please stay safe. Most of the snow is going to be south of Louisville, but watch for some slick spots even here in the city. All right, that's it for now, guys. I'm Wave Meteorologist Ryan Hoke. And as always, we appreciate your viewership and be safe out there. Goodbye, everybody.